name False Teeth.
What's up, YouTube? False Teeth here. Thanks for tuning in and giving me a few moments of your Sunday afternoon, week one football season and everything. How about them Cowboys? Anyway, I just a few things I want to get off my hairline. I mean, get off my chest, and just some things I've noticed around YouTube. Of course, dealing with your favorite YouTube personality, shoe shine boy Thomas Jerome Harris. I'm hearing Tommy. He's always talking about how we keep saying the same things about him. They keep saying the same thing over and over and over. They keep saying it. They keep saying it. Why don't they come up with something new? If you pay attention to the gentleman on your screen right now, you may know him. If you don't, I'll introduce him. His name is Michael Jordan, and he is considered by many, especially of my generation, he's considered being the greatest player in professional basketball history. Now, the generations before me, they might say that Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player of all time. And I know the current generation, they probably feel that LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. So the argument is subjective. But let's focus on Michael Jordan. Many claim he is the epitome of a basketball player. He is the greatest basketball player ever. And a lot of people say that. And they keep saying it. And they say it and they say it and they say it. Okay. Until Michael Jordan decides to do something to refute this, I'm pretty sure people will keep saying it. Tommy, you've done nothing to refute anything that anybody alleges to believe about you. You're an alleged tranny chaser. Why? Why? Because there's evidence to prove that theory. People believe you're some type of pedophile. Why? Because there's evidence to follow along those lines. You're gay, of course, allegedly, and you do nothing to refute any of that, you know. So that's why people aren't going to say anything different. If they believe what they believe and you do nothing to the contrary, then you are just strengthening their resolve in their beliefs. So that's why nothing's going to change unless something changes in how you present yourself. But even then, that probably won't change opinion. But moving on, I think Tommy, poor Tommy, you got to feel for him in a way because he's a man spiraling out of control. He has no venue for, growing his business, his company, his whatever you want to call it. He has no room for growth. His growth has been stunted. His legs have been chopped out from underneath him, and he's like a rat. He's like a hamster on a wheel. He's just spinning with nowhere to go. As you can see him, he used to be a journalist. You remember that? He used to be a newsman. You remember that? He was the news, current events, what's happening, what's going on. He tried to become a morning show. That didn't work. Then he tried to become a late night show, and that don't work. He had the Voltron network where he was working with all these different people, and that blew up in his face. Hell, if anybody's keeping an eye on Storm Monroe he's becoming bigger than Tommy. Hell, I think I saw his channel. He's got like 22,000 subs. So he's surpassed his master. You know, then Tommy. Now all I hear is Tommy. He's the 40-year-old rapper or whatever. He thought he was a rapper, thinks he's a rapper, And now he's a comedian. Now he does stand up, and he's trying to show you his stand up in front of a canned audience. If you really want to be a stand up, why don't you go down to a local comedy club on open mic night, stand up in front of a bunch of people who don't know who the hell you are, and try your comedy on them and see how it goes over. See, these are people who aren't coming to laugh at you. So, and you better bring something to wipe yourself when the tomatoes start flying. Anyway, on to my next subject, which is still the same subject. I saw Seven Deadly Sins did a video, and I was thinking along the same lines before he made this video, and I was gonna make a video about it, but Seven beat me to it, so I'll just briefly address it here. This sector needs true Freeman. Most specifically, Tommy needs true Freeman. If you look around this area of YouTube, as true Freeman goes, so does this section of YouTube. It's been it's been very, very slow in these YouTube streets since True Freeman's been away. This sector needs True Freeman. We have to have True Freeman here in order for things to keep percolating along. You, these other YouTubers, they try to do other things, but it's just not the same. They try to put up videos. They try to have other content. But if you look, their numbers are down. If you look, there are people in the chat room. Who are they still talking about? Who's still mentioned? True Freeman. This sector needs True Freeman. And without him, it's looking pretty slim out here in these YouTube streets. Next thing, still on the same thing. I was sitting in Brother Derek's chat, and this is how you know how low Tommy is stooping to try and find some kind of content. I was hanging out in Brother Derek's chat. There's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 of us, me and Naya, Triple Darkness. Shout out to all y'all in Brother Derek's chat. And we were there just chilling and talking about, I don't know, something random. And lo and behold, who pops in? Nobody than your famous tap dancing coon, Thomas Jerome Harris. And of course, Tommy can't come in and say something, you know, relatively decent and then leave. He has to come in and start taking shots at Brother Derek. You know, he has to come in and you know, pass his anger on and then leave. And I'm thinking, why did he even bother coming in here? And why did he even bother typing in the chat? Nobody was discussing him. Nobody was discussing anything related to him at the time. I don't believe. Nobody was discussing him. But here he comes, and he has to leave destruction in his wake. And just his presence changed the whole mood of the chat room. That just lets you know the type of ego this person has. Where a chat room with 6 people in it, he has to disrupt it. It makes no sense. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. This is False Teeth. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a nice night.